I got banned from a fantasy. I get. I'm gonna be quiet.
That's a man card violation. Anyone who bans anyone from a pool or a
We've got
fantasy
to be the
league
dumbest team in America in terms of
because
playing.
they're just like, oh, my feelings got hurt. I'm gonna ban you from the fantasy league or from the office pool because my feathers got ruffled.
All right,
You
Scott.
ruffled the feathers.
Hey, Scott. All right.
You ruffled the
Relax,
feathers
relax,
on my
relax,
boa.
relax. I don't know what you're in a
Ruffled
pissed
the
off
feathers
mood.
on my
Relax,
boa,
relax.
so I'm gonna ban you off the pool.
Hey, some water under the bridge, man.
We're big babies. I'm not talking about New Year's, Happy New Year babies either. Talking about big fat babies. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Pick 4 Playoff Wild Card Week, the first playoff show of Big Pick 4, the show where the NFL handicapping experts, Big Danny D and Big Brian B, give you the best 4 picks, which there only are 4 games, so they will be the 4 playoff picks for the wild card week. Normally, it would be the 4 best picks for Sunday's games. As always, we will start with a announcement of no meaning from Big D. Let's have it.
Actually, this has meaning. Actually, this has meaning.
That was the best joke of the year.
Here's my announcement. Can we do the show on Thursday next week? The fans want to know.
I
No,
know.
this is real.
Oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow. I'm not gonna be able to make it.
No, this is legit. Brenton, the office guy who I was doing the pool with. Funny, you can
that
vouch.
bet.
You can vouch. Our fans didn't see it, but basically he whined and cried. And I think he should be badge of the week. I think that's who should be badge of the week. But Dan has
That's
a different
between
one.
you guys. That's nothing to do with me.
Basically, to the viewers, I had to change one of my picks, and me and Dan apologize for that. One of the office workers overheard me and Dan doing our picks, and he used all the same picks.
I think you have to explain this a little bit more. Brian and Brenton had a bet about who could make better picks during the season.
Well, they knew about the bet.
But I think we need to recap a little bit here.
All right, go
so
ahead.
Brenton spied on us while Brian and I were discussing our picks for last week. And, so he picked the exact same 3 of the 4 games that we picked. He claims he was totally independent, but he was spying. Brian saw him there and caught him. So, and we announced all the picks on the show. So that's why one pick got changed to Buffalo.
And he wouldn't. And I asked him, and Dan vouched. I asked him to change one of his picks. He wouldn't do it. So I called Brother Scott. He changed the pick, put it on the website. So we changed one of the picks to Buffalo. And thank God I did change it to Buffalo because we tied.
Yeah, 34-34.
We ended up tying for the season. And if I didn't change that Buffalo pick, I would have lost.
So what did he end up going? Did he go 1-3 for?
Yeah, we went 2-2.
I think we all, yeah.
We went 2-2, and he went 1-3.
So it was tied.
Yeah, well, you changed a losing pick to a winner, as you say. Oddly enough,
I changed that they pick.
All 3 of the other picks besides the Big D were all losing picks, so it wasn't like you inadvertently changed the winner to a loser or anything like that. They were all losers, and thankfully you changed one to a win.
Yeah, 2-2 is better than 1-3.
And I like to say 12-5 for the season is pretty good for the Big D.
Hey, and by the way, hey Scott, by the way, a coworker Dan wanted a Burger King crown, but the coworker got him a tiara, and Dan is a vagina and he won't wear it. I think if Dan had balls.
I'm not you. I go around wearing tutus and tiaras on my spare time. I wanted a crown. Burger King doesn't have crowns anymore.
No, but I'm gonna give probably 6. What the fuck?
Here we go.
So the week 17 picks. The Big D, the Big D comes through again very handily. We changed the winner to a loser, as we discussed. And the others were just so lopsided, it was ridiculous. So, as you say, 500 Big Dan is truly being
And I want to
NFL
say that Dan,
recapping expert, and Big B is just being. I mean, I could put 3 bananas on the floor and send a monkey there, and like put
All right,
little football
Scott,
helmets on each
Scott,
banana,
he's already
and the
made
monkey
fun
would
of
be
me,
better than that.
No, I want to listen. Listen.
You could
I'm
get a
a-
blind person who's never seen football to pick better than him.
No, I want to say, listen. I'm going to give. We have to give kudos where kudos is. This is part of our show, and me and Scott, we saw talent in Dan. We saw potential.
I was
One
recruited.
night, right? We recruited him, Scott. We got to take credit for that, right, Scott? We got to take credit for that.
Yeah, he does. He
12
does
and
have
5.
talent,
He's
yeah.
better
Yeah.
than most of the.
If I hadn't done so well, he really would have been in the dumps.
we
this year.
finished one above 500, right?
Yeah, not as good as last year. Actually, we won.
No, you finished exactly at 500.
No, because of the push, we finished one above.
It's 500.
Well, yeah, I guess if you want
Yeah.
to count that. I mean, no one's going to win on
Yeah,
a
it's
push.
No,
500.
percentage-wise, we would have.
Yeah, I think that's kind of grasping at straw.
No, I'll give you one above 500, but
No, because we were 34,
when you
33,
factor
and
in the actual lines,
I don't think it matters.
you're winning against a spread, but you got to realize all those lines are minus 110, minus 105. So you're still paying that 10% for bets. So, I mean, you definitely didn't win
Yeah, that's
money
for over
on that.
60%.
The money was the big
Yeah, we have
D.
to be over 60% in order to win. So that 500 or whatever doesn't matter.
And
to love it.
also, I would like to point out that that as the producer of the show, he's responsible for all the material. And I'd like to say that
Don't let
you
the cat
get
out.
an F, Scott, because the show didn't have very good shtick this season. So I'm gonna give you a big F.
Crickets.
I'm gonna give you a big F. Wasn't as funny
Yeah,
as last
well-
year.
Give me something to get excited about, Guru.
Hey, I tried. You guys always cut me off.
No, I'm talking about the picks.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying about the shtick. It
He's
wasn't as
more
good
about
as last year.
Yeah, he's worried more about the shtick than the picks after going 6-10-1.
Yeah. There is no entertainment in losing NFL picks. There's no entertainment value
Scott.
whatsoever. Even if Dan wears a tiara, it still
Which is
doesn't
funny.
matter.
Hey, we did a show with bags on our heads.
We are here to make winning picks. Anything else, if you guys go on like what you should be doing, 3 out of 4, week in, week out, I'll have all kinds of go-go dancers. I'll have all kinds of added entertainment.
Let me cut you off there.
So if you
Because
were just
you
more
just
like
wanna-
Dan,
Wait,
I
time
want
out.
Dan to be my brother.
Listen, if just
Dan, will you
Yeah.
be my brother?
Sure.
listen,
At least you can pick
Yeah.
NFL games.
no, listen.
Yeah, from the football expert
listen.
who thinks a coach has to be big and fat in order to have presence.
I just wait.
At least you have
Thank
hair.
you.
Yeah, I just want to say, listen, well, for the record, if you just wanted to do a show that was just about being 3 out of 4, then you could just stick up the little card with all the picks and have nobody talking. The live stuff, you need to have the shtick. If you're just going to be the picks, then you might as well just have our picks up there and no talking.
I have an idea. What if I make all the picks?
No, I want to have
What if
both.
next year I make all the picks and Brian just does the shtick?
Right. Brian, you wear the tiara.
Yeah,
Sometimes a bear suit with a tutu. That
Yeah.
would be good too.
you can
Dancing
sit
bear.
there, sing and dance and carry on and all other nonsense.
Yeah, with a tiara and a tutu and
Yeah.
a bear suit. He would dance around in the
Yeah.
background, and you just make all the
Yeah.
picks. Okay, that's
Yeah,
next year's
yeah.
show.
Definitely.
Look forward to. We have to. It's Big D with Brian the Dancing Bear. No, Cowboy
No,
Scott
Skeletor.
with Big
No.
D, with Big D and Brian the Dancing
it'd be
Bear.
Big D with Skeletor and Dancing Bear.
Oh boy.
Oh, where? You know what that deserves,
Yeah.
don't you? You know what that deserves.
Yeah.
Gee, Dan, I'm really glad you got the camera working well this season.
Yeah, that's right.
So that Brian could make good picks.
That's right. Yeah, you can see us as we make terrible picks.
Yeah, I was trying to make bad picks.
I don't know that Chiefs one.
It has
I
to
thought
be
they were
3
they
out
had
of
a guy
4.
die on their team.
So
I didn't
what?
think-
They
I-
were
I-
awful. They got crushed. They lost by 35.
It has to be 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4, and an occasional 1 out of 4. That's it. It has to be week in, week out, across 17 weeks.
He had that 0 for 4 week, which was really bad.
Yeah, we only had 1 over 4 though.
But still, you can't have that, an 0 for 4 week.
No, you're always starting out in a hole too. It's the first few picks. You get
hard.
Well, you said that too. Like the first 3-4 weeks, they haven't established themselves. You have to figure out what kind of identity these teams have.
I mean,
it takes
look,
like 3-4 weeks.
But
right?
look, the Eagles won 3 of the first 4 games, and they sucked the rest of the season.
And you have injuries too.
You know, the Saints went 0-5 their first 5 games, but then they finished 8-8. So it's difficult. Look at the Texans. They started out 11-1. They lost 3 out of the last 4.
And then I also like to say too that and I'm not just using it as an excuse, but there were like at least 3 or 4 games of my Big B that I lost by 1 point. And I know it's still losing, but I was fucking close.
Hey, but you say you're taking a mulligan anyway.
I'm taking a mulligan, but I'm still saying that losing by a point fucking sucks. When the spread is 5 and they win by 4, fuck you.
And folks, wait for next year and Brian takes a mulligan again.
I'm sorry I beat you last year.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
That was fake.
No, it wasn't
yes,
fake.
It was
legit because
no,
you wouldn't change the pick.
Because
Scott wouldn't change the pick.
Because you presented the pick on the show, and then you bitched about it later. So you lost on a technicality.
No, I didn't. You witnessed me
There's
call
no evidence.
Scott to change.
Sure, but however, there is 0 visual evidence of that.
Whatever.
So it
God
therefore doesn't exist.
All right.
God doesn't like Irish people. He's proven that.
Scott, you gonna take that?
He tried to kill all of you in Ireland by destroying the potato crop. Then he tried to kill you.
Guys
and then
too.
he tried to kill you again when he came to America
He
by
tried
making
to
you
kill
fight
you
the
in
Civil
World
War.
War II. He tried to kill you in World War II.
The pogroms, the Spanish Inquisition, and World War II.
The ancient Egyptians tried to get rid of you.
Sure.
Guys.
So there's plenty of examples. Definitely.
Well, who are there more of? Are there more Irish or Jewish nowadays?
There's only like 8 million in America, right?
What?
Jews.
Jews, I think, are.
No, in the world.
No, in
I don't
America,
know.
like
Jews,
8
there's
million.
1% of the population, I think, is Jewish. That's what's like 3 million.
There's got to be like 5% of the population Irish.
I think there might be more Irish.
Well, I think for the first time in the history of the country, there are more Catholic people than Protestants.
In the history of
I believe
USA?
so, because of the Mexican immigration. But this is a football show. Why are we talking about demographics and political geography?
Because this isn't a well-rounded show. You know, we talk about more than just football. we're smart guys. We're not just dumb jocks, people.
That's right. We're all college graduates, damn it.
That's right.
We may not look like it on the show, but that's with our...
Yeah, I like watching the bootleg NFL games on the internet from Mexico, and they'd be like, you know, blah, 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 dum.
That's right.
They'd be like, blah, 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 football.
The show's making a bad turn, people.
Yeah, I know.
It's dark.
But you know there is NFL in Mexico. You can get it on the internet.
Yeah. Well, better save the Andrew Dice Clay material for another time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have the wild card week badge of the week.
Oh.
Well, it would actually be the week 17 badge of the week, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have several excellent candidates. The Jets. So you can pretty much pick anybody from the Jets, just about every week. I mean, that debacle. Oh my God. You can pick the Eagles, the way they performed that last game. The Chiefs.
Oh God, the Eagles.
The Chiefs, who totally laid down in that game. Jeffrey Lurie, who said that Howie Roseman was not responsible for the 2011 terrible draft where they picked a firefighter in the first round.
Right.
From Canada, who was like 42 years old, who played football for like a month, and they decided to make him a first round pick. But I'm going to go with Jay Cutler because he is the sole reason why Lovie Smith got fired. Now, I understand that they make the playoffs, but that's kind of a bad luck thing more than anything. They were 10-6. They had a good season, but because of, I guess, some sort of weird tiebreaker, they didn't make it. And that's not necessarily the coach's fault. But their offense was so inconsistent. And the general manager in his statements to the media after they fired Smith, he said that the offense was never higher than the teens in their rankings. Now, some of that could be skewed because of the turnovers that the Bears got, and the offense is ranked by yards, and if you have a short field all the time, the yards aren't going to be high. But Cutler has had very inconsistent play over the course of the season, and that really cost him at times during the year. And he didn't say a word after Lovie Smith got fired, like, I take responsibility, I need to play better, I could have done more. I could have saved the coach. The defense was great. He's a good coach. I wish I'd played a little better. My focus is going to be for next season to play better, to make sure I throw the ball to more people than just Brandon Marshall, who got targeted 100 times more than the next closest receiver, which is ridiculous. He didn't say anything. He went to his radio show, and instead he crapped out of there, didn't do it, and instead of taking questions and facing heat from the fans, and he left and went back to the Bears facility to cry and call his mom or something. And that's ridiculous. What kind of leadership is that? So he is a big-time Vag of the Week for just totally disassociating himself from the process and not taking a leadership role for his team.
But I would like to nominate also as honorary the Eagles for laying down on Sunday. That was despicable, disgusting. That was
or the Chiefs. The Chiefs were pretty awful too.
Well, yeah, but I'm an Eagles fan, so I just want to say
Eagles fan, Giants fan, Jets fan, Packers fan, Steelers fan.
Anyway, I just want to say good job to the Eagles for laying down. You guys played hard.
And good job to, what's his name, Laurie, for stroking Roseman and giving him no responsibility for that terrible 2011 draft where they drafted a bunch of clowns.
Oh, you mean Jaquan Jarrett? Isn't he in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, he's a Hall of Fame? Yeah, that's right.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a two-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro, drafting a 28-year-old firefighter.
Who had 1 year of football experience.
Yeah.
Not just college. We're talking about his whole
football.
life. He played 1 year of football.
Yeah, that was terrible. So, but
that was a good move by Denver, giving up Cutler.
Oh yeah,
that douchebag, and then now look at where they're at.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
he's
he's not a leader.
Yeah, he has no moxie, man. He's a whiner. He's a crybaby.
He cries.
He's self.
I mean, they didn't foresee getting Peyton Manning when they gave up Cutler, but look how that worked out for him.
Yeah.
Let me say something. The reason that he will never win is because he's selfish. He's a crybaby. He's selfish. Guys like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, those are winners because they're team players.
You know that those guys would have come out and said something after their coach got fired, knowing that was partially their fault. They would have taken some responsibility. They wouldn't have sat there and went back into their shell like they were a turtle. So
Gurus, why will Dallas never win with Romo?
Because he stinks.
He chokes.
He's 1-7 in elimination
game.
And of course, he beat the Eagles in that one game. But,
yes. Good job, Andy Reid. Yeah. Oh, bye-bye, Andy Reid. Thanks for the 14 years.
But there's some sort of confidence boost he gets when he's playing the Eagles in clutch games, huh?
Yeah, well, they beat him. They beat him in the other two. But yes, they need to make some major changes in Dallas. The problem is there's no good quarterback, so they kind of need to stick with him for one more season, and then maybe go from there.
Well, what about Joe Football? Bring him on.
He's not going to come out till after next season. He's ineligible to enter the draft.
Yeah, ineligible.
So never mind.
That's not going to work. So they need to stick with Romo. There's no good alternative. Nothing they can do. They're kind of stuck.
He signed an extension like last year, I think.
A couple years ago, but that doesn't mean anything. The guaranteed money is going to be done soon. But he's going to be 33, I think. I mean, he's going to be 34 after next season. I don't know what you want to do with a 34-year-old guy who can't win.
Well, they need to bench Romo and bring in the Phillies or the Eagles backup quarterback all of next season to guarantee they lose every game.
Yeah.
That way they'll get the top seed in the draft.
And Trent Edwards.
No,
yeah, right.
No, who's the Philly quarterback that backed up Vic?
He better not be the backup next year. He's awful.
That's what I told you guys. I said the guy's running for his life, throwing off the back foot.
I'm talking about Edwards. He stinks too.
Well, we'll see. Vic's gonna probably end up there's rumors that he could end up in Buffalo, places like that.
Yeah, it depends who the coach is. He stinks. I think he should just go home at this point. His legs are shot.
Yeah, he got caught by Osin Umenyiora.
I'm telling you, his legs are shot. He can't run like he used to. He doesn't understand.
Oh, so much for the Wildcat.
Yeah,
right?
No.
It's caught from behind by like a 300-pound defenseman.
Yeah. Vic gets the Reno Mahe Award for being caught by a guy twice his size who shouldn't be able to run that fast. because that was a famous play in a game. Reno Mahe was returning a punt for the Eagles, and he got caught by some lineman who was like a sloth, who caught him from behind and tackled him. It was ridiculous. He had open space in front of him. There was no one in front of him, but he got caught from behind.
I saw a punter last week make a nice tackle with a face mask, and I thought, that's the way you train all punters. You just run right for the head and grab the face mask and take the penalty. At least you didn't get 6 points on the board.
Yeah.
We'll take our chances, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who hit. I think it was the Redskins punter, Rocca.
Yeah, Rocca.
He killed somebody last week. Man.
Yeah.
Punt return to Harris, Dwayne
Yeah,
Harris.
yeah.
He clotheslined him.
Yeah.
They got an extra 15 yards, but it was like
Yeah.
Australian rules.
It was like my favorite play ever was when Lance Briggs clotheslined Patrick Ramsey. When he was the
Yeah,
quarterback
or
for
the Hugh Douglas on.
Oh yeah, and Jim
Jim
Miller.
Miller, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We should get to our picks though.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the wild card
Which one's
first combined pick
this one?
from Big Danny D. Let's have it.
All right. The first pick is Cincinnati at Houston. Houston is favored by 4.5. Houston has been awful lately. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games, but honestly, their coach's job is probably on the line here. So I believe that they're going to play inspired football and win the game. They really have to, because if they lose, they could maybe break up the band a little bit here. There's going to be a lot of jobs. Wade Phillips could be out. Gary Kubiak could be out. The offensive coordinator could be out. I mean, there could be a lot of jobs on the line. These players need to play hard and win this game. I think it'll come out inspired at home. As Brian told me earlier, Cincinnati hasn't won a playoff game in 20 years. I think Houston's going to play very inspired at home, and they're going to win the game. Because if not, they're going to have big, big problems. So, and I don't think they want that to happen, because it would really be a major embarrassment of a season if they lose in that first round. So I'm going with Houston.
I would like to say, and I think I can speak for Dan, that this was probably our least confident pick of the 4.
Oh, yeah, I can see it, because Houston's defense has been awful. I mean, I think A.J. Green could have a field day, but Houston has to come through here, because if they don't, everybody's gone. And the coaching staff is going to be gone.
But the difference between this week and all the rest of the weeks is we only have 4 games to pick from.
Sure,
so we have to, if this was a game that was in week 17, we would have avoided it.
Maybe, yeah, but
We have
No, but
playoffs.
if you have a show, you're saying to people, if you take our picks, you're going to win money. So you still got to go 3 out of 4.
Oh yeah.
If you're going to have a playoff show, you got to go 3 out of 4.
That's not my point. My point is, all I'm saying is if this game was
a regular season week, we probably
would
wouldn't
have avoided it
yeah,
because it's
but
too iffy.
I still think Houston's going to win by more than 4.5 at home, because they're going to play inspired, because they're going to play for their coach. And maybe some other guys. Jobs are on the line here for the players, too. Some of those guys are going to be out if they don't win.
And the only thing I don't know if you mentioned it.
Cincinnati doesn't have that kind of urgency. They're all young.
The only thing I think I pointed this out, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but I am not impressed by Andy Dalton. When I watched that Eagles game, I don't think he's as good as a quarterback as everyone says he is.
I think he's
overrated.
okay. I think he just had a bad game. I think it's product of playing those Thursday games. Those Thursday games are terrible.
He had no pocket awareness at all.
I understand, but I think they need to eliminate those Thursday games. It's just, especially at that point in the season, you're all beat up.
And I
Have an
also don't
awful
think
game.
the Bengals have a good running game.
But I do want to remind the viewers of the status for this season of Houston. That's right, they're the love train. Remember?
Houston and Indy.
Yeah.
We had 2 love trains, Scott.
The Houston defense has been terrible.
Houston and
but-
Indy, and don't forget about Indy was our love train for a while too.
Yeah.
They're on there again.
Well, of course. So
No, Indy was like last season.
No, this year
they weren't
won a
last
lot
year.
for them.
Last year they got crushed.
They were 2-14 last year.
Yeah.
Or the season before, whatever the hell it
He
was.
was there. He was BKO's love train.
Yeah. No, but they won like 5 games for us this year, I think.
Yeah, mainly
For
at
me
home.
And you, I think
Yeah,
they won like
they
5.
they always covered at home.
So there you have it. The first combined pick. Big B, let's have combined pick number 2.
Combined pick number 2 will be Indy at Baltimore. Baltimore's favored by 7. I'm saying take Indy. My reasoning is I think Indianapolis has been playing inspired lately. Chuck Pagano's back from cancer.
It's leukemia.
Leukemia is
It's
cancer.
cancer. It's the same thing.
Well, it's the same thing.
It's cancer of the blood.
And I think
Thanks, Dr. Dan.
You're welcome.
I mean
Surgery tomorrow at 11.
Dan's the stat guy, but I think Indy's won 6 of the last 7 games. I think.
They went 9-3 under Bruce Arians.
Yeah,
And he was
I think they won 6 of the last 7, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been playing great. And if Bruce Arians hadn't screwed up that game against Houston, they might have won the division.
And the other thing that I told Dan earlier when we picked this game was Baltimore has been playing well lately. The last 4 or 5 games. I mean, they beat the Giants, but the Giants have been playing horrible. That was their only win, I think, in the last 4 games. I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is pollution cancer of the air too?
Anyway, I think +7. I think Baltimore will win. I honestly think they'll win, but I don't think they'll cover. I think they might win by 3 or 4. I think it could be 24-21. I think Indy's playing well. I think they're going to play them tight. And I don't think Baltimore's going to cover 7.
I wouldn't be shocked if Indianapolis wins.
I wouldn't be shocked
Outright.
either, but I could also see them winning Baltimore by 3.
I think
Couldn't you?
Maybe, but I think that Baltimore balloon is kind of starting to deflate a little bit here.
And I'll tell you the
But
one guy that
It'll be a close game.
the guy that I don't trust in that team is Joe Flacco.
No, I don't trust him either.
I don't think he's got the. I don't want to say moxie. I think it's a decision making.
I think it's something called talent.
Well, he's not horrible, but I
He
think
is
when
horrible.
clutch time comes.
I know, but the stage of his career that he's in, his completion percentage should be much better than what it is.
Yeah.
And he's not good in clutch situations. He's not good at throwing the intermediate pass to get 5-7 yards to get first downs.
I think you're missing some pieces here
They're
because you're not mentioning the
Scott.
the death of the Ravens owner this year, right?
he wasn't their
The man who
years
was
ago.
despised
Some
in
talent.
Cleveland. You're missing the fact that the Colts used to be the Baltimore Colts.
Yes.
Okay.
All this is
You're missing the fact that on the scoreboard at M&T Bank, the only team that they refuse to list by name is the Colts.
no.
They will never put the Colts on the scoreboard. They will only put Indy.
Yes.
They won't even
Call it.
call them the Colts there.
What's your
So
point,
you've got
Scott?
some bad blood here that you're not accounting for.
Are
Who
you?
cares?
Is this in favor of our pick?
This is
Is
ridiculous.
this
And
nonsense?
Indianapolis is also 2-0 in the playoffs against Baltimore in Baltimore. What's your point? It's irrelevant.
Yeah, Scott just needed to hear himself talk. I think.
Yeah, this is
No, I think you're going to go 3 out of 4 this week, but it's going to be on the Houston pick and not the Ravens or the Indy pick.
the Ravens have been awful.
The Ravens are going to win outright in that game. Just like I warned you on the Skins pick. Once this season, I warned you on the Skins pick. I was right. I'm warning you on the Ravens pick now.
Yeah, you went 9-8 yourself there.
Yeah, I
buddy
know.
boy.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. 9 and 8.
No, in all the weeks when you guys were just putting the picks up, I was just giving myself a win. I wasn't even making a pick. I was automatically giving myself a win.
yeah.
Um.
Thanks.
Nah. Anyway, avoiding or ignoring what Scott said. I like Indy. I think the +7. I think
like
that
Indy, too.
when I saw that, I thought the spread would be a little lower. I think Vegas is. I thought it might be like 5.
Baltimore's
so
defense is vulnerable, and I think Indianapolis can exploit some of it.
I just like that spread. I say this. I didn't say this to Dan earlier, but if the spread was +5, I might stay. I might go Baltimore, but I like +7. I think that's a good number for Indy.
yeah.
Ray Lewis comes back. He announces this is his last season.
Dude, he has his condition.
Baltimore is healthy.
His first game, his conditioning is going to be horrible. You got to be in game condition. Just because you're Ray Lewis, you can't step on the field and tackle 20
And he's
people.
37 years old. 36 years old. It's not like he's 25 coming back from this injury.
Yo,
It's not like he has another season to
I'm
save
just
himself.
saying, your
for.
body is not going to be able to recover that
He
fast.
can throw his body at everything.
It's not like he's played that well when he was playing. He can't cover anyone anymore. He has no quickness. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Listen, I've watched enough ESPN and enough CSN to know and listen to other players talk. it takes at least 2 or 3 weeks to get back into the groove of things, to get into the conditioning of the game. Ray Lewis is going to be huffing and puffing. He might even have to take a couple plays off. Seriously.
No,
the guy's been out for what, 5-6 weeks? You can't just come back.
Oh,
7.
Yeah.
So Ray Lewis is now Albert Hainsworth. Okay, I get it.
No. You see, he exaggerates.
Yeah, I know. No,
He's gonna be running in, like a bull with his head down, trying to find the quarterback, looking at his feet.
Yeah, that's a good way to run. You'll find nothing that way.
I don't know. All of a sudden, Scott turned into the devil's advocate today. Way to be devil's advocate there, Scott. Way to make your host look bad, you dumbass.
I had one pick this season when I did that, and I was right. And this is the second pick, so I was very selective.
Scott, where are you now? You're in a small apartment in Sarasota. Woo! Look at you. If you were so confident, you should have bet all of your dollars you had in the bank.
Wait a minute. You live in a small, dirty apartment in New Jersey. What's the difference?
No, but I'm saying if he was so confident, he could...
What's the temperature at your apartment right now?
No, time out. No, that's not my point, Dan. Why are you, first of all,
60...
My heat's not even on. I don't need it.
Why are you siding with Scott? All I'm saying is if he was so certain with that Redskins pick, he could have taken all his life savings, bet it, and he would have a lot more money. He wouldn't live in this apartment.
He would have $75.
Oh, nice. How's it going?
No, what you don't know is that Dan gave me all his life savings, and we betted on that game. But we're just not telling you.
You guys are both rich.
We're multi-millionaires.
You guys are pretending to have this lifestyle.
Oh, God.
No,
so, ladies and gentlemen, as always,
sure, you should have bet.
Let him do the commercial.
A word from the Wild Card Week Big Pick 4 sponsor.
What is this, some kind of joke?
I don't get it.
And we're back for the second half of the show where you have your guaranteed picks. One being, well, actually, you guys both got to win because you're going to lose the Baltimore pick.
Yeah.
So actually, both of these picks, winners this week.
Maybe. I don't know. We still have the Big B.
The guarantees both come through. Let's have the first guarantee being the, what are we, 12-5 now, Dan?
5. That's right. In the money.
Oh,
12
shit, we're rich. Man. And then, just take the big D, and the opposite is roughly the big D.
Yeah.
I mean, the big B. Correction. So let's have the big D, Danny, pick week wild card. Let's have it.
All right. My guarantee this week is Minnesota at Green Bay. Minnesota's plus 8.5, taking Minnesota. I believe, I don't know the exact statistic, but there's a trend in which the team that, if two teams played week 17, then played the next week in the playoffs, the team that wins the week 17 matchup has won like 7 out of 8 or something of the next week. Like I remember the Eagles played Tampa Bay in the week 17, and then they beat them the wild card weekend. Dallas beat the Eagles week 17, and they beat the Eagles in the playoffs. And there's one other matchup like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was the same thing where the teams played week 17 and played week 1, and the same team won both games. So Minnesota.
Did the Vikings even go home this week?
They were at home. That's where the last game was played, at home.
Oh, okay. So now they
stadium
moved to
charting.
Green Bay. Okay.
Anyway.
No, then he's going to talk about the pirate porn.
Oh, no. Stop. Anyway. I believe Minnesota is going to be the Green Bay defense really isn't very good. The weather there is supposed to be absolutely brutal. It's going to be 20 degrees, I believe, at kickoff.
But isn't Lambeau a dome, though? That's a dome, right?
Yeah, the frozen tundra of Lambeau
Hey,
Field.
and guess who the quarterback of the Vikings is? Kyle Bowler.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, and Don Mikowski still plays for the Packers.
Does Brett Favre still drive that John Deere tractor around?
There's Wrangler fence, yeah. Anyway, I think Minnesota is going to keep this game close, if not win. It's going to be running weather. It's going to be cold. So that should fit them. The Packer defense isn't very good. The Packer offensive line isn't very good, and the Minnesota has a good pass rush. And I think they'll be able to run the football effectively and rush the passer effectively. Green Bay has gone 43 straight games without a 100-yard rusher. So they don't do that very well. And you're going to need to do that in a game like this. Especially in that kind of weather, you just can't throw the ball the whole time. It's tough to run in cold air like that over and over and over again if you're a receiver to keep going. I just feel that Minnesota has some advantages here. Now, they may not win, but it could be a game very similar to the one that they just played in Minnesota where it's a close one-score game. So I believe that Minnesota will be able to cover the spread and either win or lose by less than 8.5.
So there you have it.
Hello, you play to win the game.
Pick your Minnesota Vikings. Now, are you pointing to the goalpost here as a win outright, or you're just saying that Green Bay won't cover?
I think it could be either Minnesota just squeaks it out or
No, I'm asking. It can't be either. I'm asking. Be bold here. Are you saying Minnesota's going to win here?
Well, it can be either. Why can't it be either? That covers the spread if it's either.
No, it can be, but I'm adding another dimension.
I
to
think
the pick.
Minnesota can win the game. Yes, I like the way that trend's going. And Green Bay didn't play very well past couple weeks, and they've lost the last 2 or 3 games at home in the playoffs, I believe. I know they lost to the Giants last year at home.
And I think I pointed out to you. I think Christian Ponder's been playing better last 3 games.
Yeah, he's been playing a little bit better too. I just don't think Green Bay is that great. And as I said, I think the running game is really going to make a difference. When it's that cold, you have to be able to run the football, keep your defense off the field so they can stay warm. And when they go out there, they're fresh.
I mean, does anybody out there who's watching even know who the Green Bay Packers running back is? I mean, that's how few times they run the ball.
Some guy named Green. I don't even know his first name.
That's how few times they run the ball.
Alex Green.
But then that's not going with the trend that says it's flipped. The last week of the season going into the playoffs, the other team wins.
Well, I know, but Minnesota won last week, so I think they could win this week against Green Bay again.
No, but I thought you were saying the opposite team.
No.
He's saying that
the same team wins.
Oh, the same team. Oh,
okay. 17 usually has won next week in the playoffs.
Hey, Scott, there's something called Hooked on Phonics. You should look into it.
Brian uses it. It's been very effective. He's finally learned how to do possessives.
Oh, you all. Yorn. Is that a possessive? That's Yorn.
What's mine is mine. What's Yorn is Yorn.
No, Brian, I know the difference between helping Uncle Jack off a horse and helping Uncle Jack off a horse. Okay? So I do know phonics. Thank you.
Brian prefers the first part.
He prefers helping his Uncle Jack off a horse?
Yes, he does.
Well, I prefer helping my Uncle Jack off a horse. Thank you.
Yeah.
I never heard that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
There's our shtick for the day. Scott covered the shtick.
The dancing bear is happy.
Dancing bear is happy.
So now we will have the second guarantee pick to redeem himself. It's a clean slate now. You're in the playoffs. Big B. Let's have it. You're going to go. So you could potentially go 100% in the playoffs now. It's new season.
Yeah, this is brand new season. But let me first, before I do my pick, let me start off by saying that I have had the backing of many of my coworkers in the office today. I had like 3 or 4 people ask me what my lock was, and I told them what my lock was, and they all agreed. So
people asked me about this same game too.
Anyway, so the lock, I'm gonna be bold, motherfuckers. Yeah, that's a new season for my mulligan's over. My mulligan is over. The new season.
Can I add a sound effect here? That's the kiss of death.
Whatever. Fuck you. Game. Fuck you. All right.
No, we need the Godfather music.
I didn't say Stone Cold.
You just did.
No, I said lock. You were the one who kissed. Anyway, the lock of the week takes Seattle -3 at Washington. I think Seattle's defense is better. They're getting Browner, one of their cornerbacks who's been suspended. They're getting him back. RG3 isn't 100%. He's limping around. He's not fully effective. Seattle has a good running game. They're going to be able to keep the ball out of Washington's hands. And I think it basically, in any NFL game, boils down to defense. And I think in this case, Seattle just has a better defense than Washington. I think Washington's defense is average, but Seattle has one of the top, I think, 7 or 8 defenses in the NFL.
They have good speed. They were able to contain Griffin.
And they have a good front four.
But I just got to say, even though I completely 100% agree with Brian's pick here, that I must harken back to week 2, where he stated, and I quote, that the Ravens versus the Eagles was going to be the blowout of the week. And the Eagles ended up winning that game by 2 points. So I better be careful with throwing out lock of the week and all this other stuff.
Can I point out that
But I do agree with the pick.
No, as long as he doesn't say gut pick, we're all right.
And you're destroying my pick.
No, I said I agree 100% with your pick. That's not saying it's going to be a super blowout here.
No, I didn't say it was going to be a blowout. I just no. I'm not calling a blowout. You've called blowouts before. I'm not calling blowout. I'm saying that they're going to cover 3.
I agree.
The kiss of death is if he says it's his gut pick. That's a kiss of death.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think it could be like 17-13, 20-13, something like that.
I think it could be like 28-21, something like that. Seattle's front four. They could do remember a few years ago when the Eagles played against the Falcons in the NFC Championship game. Michael Vick was a little more dynamic at that point than he is now. I think it was something like 8 years ago, and or 9 years ago. And what they did was had a mush rush. They had the defensive ends go out wide a little bit, and they sort of did like a contained rush to contain Vick from running, and they stayed in their lanes. Seattle, I believe, is capable of doing the same thing because they're athletic enough up front that they can sort of contain the pocket and cut down the lanes for Morris and Griffin to run in because they can maintain their discipline because they have the quickness. Even if they get caught up in a fake, they still have the quickness and speed to be able to make up for it.
And the last thing I want to say before my pick is over here, Dan likes to make his ha-ha joke that I don't watch Sunday night games. But this
4 to 4 o'clock games.
But this was a Sunday night game that I did watch when Seattle played San Francisco.
Wow, 1 out of 17.
Can I finish?
Maybe.
Seattle looked good.
Crickets.
No, I just want to say Seattle played San Francisco, and they looked good. They beat a good team. And not only did they play a good team, they beat a good team, but they looked good doing it in all 3 phases. No, you agree in all 3 phases.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah. I know,
they are a well-rounded team.
But, I mean, but they play really well at home. So it's a little bit of a mirage.
That's true, but still,
I don't think it matters.
Like 2 touchdowns.
They're going to beat Washington.
What about the coach matchup? We have a college coach going against a Super Bowl winning coach here.
Carroll was in the NFL for a while.
Yeah, he coached a couple games. A couple seasons.
3 or 4 seasons with the Patriots and the Jets prior to going to USC and then prior to coming back to the NFL. So this is like his 8th or 9th season coaching the NFL.
Touche, yeah, good.
SC.
And Scott, one more thing. I got some emails from some fans, and the Crickets have been voted out. You are no longer allowed to use the Crickets.
Is that from the editor of Big Boom magazine?
That's from a bunch of emails from my fans. A lot of lady fans, by the way. Thanks, holler to the ladies.
Yeah, your neighbors and Dawn don't count.
That has not been banned. That's still funny.
I know. I like the Crickets. Especially when Brian makes those stupid announcements at the beginning of shows.
Scott overuses the Crickets.
No way. We have enough Crickets this season. Those long.
So there you have it. The picks are in. We will round out the first playoff show with the man violation of the week from Big Brian.
Before I do my man violation, I just want to say, fuck you, Dan.
Another announcement.
He wants to say, oh, the ladies want to see me. I've been getting emails from all the ladies.
No, I want to say, I don't go back and review all the shows, so I might have a repeat and a man violation. I'm pretty sure that this hasn't been used in the past. My man violation for this week is any man. We're not talking like a one-time thing or like maybe they patch up their jeans or something. A man whose hobby, like a steady hobby, like, normal guys might have fixing up cars, fishing, golfing, something like that. Their hobby is knitting or crocheting. If that's your hobby, if you have a job and then outside your job, your hobby, your lifetime passion is knitting and crocheting, then that is a fucking man violation.
There's no man in the world like that.
I know. That's what I
No,
told
there
him.
are men that knit. Yes, there are. There are men that knit. They have as a hobby. They go to knitting classes. Yes, there are men.
How about your handiwork hobby? We're gonna get into that one.
What's that?
What is it?
Come on, take a wild guess.
His
Yeah,
hobby?
knitting.
His handiwork hobby. No, but
No,
what-
Are you
I
talking
wanna
about-
say-
you talking about jerking off? I think every guy jerks off.
but come on, knitting. No, you probably ask 20 men on the street, and none of them would say they knit.
No, there are men out there that fucking knit, and there are men that go to knitting classes.
Have you been to these knitting
Really?
classes?
No, I have not.
I mean, yes, it's a violation if a man does that.
Have they had sex changes before going to the knitting
You
class?
listen, time out.
To become
My the man violation is my shtick. You didn't argue with his vag of the weeks, so you guys can both fucking suck it.
Let me give you an example to help you. A man violation would be any man who puts whipped cream on coffee. Okay.
Brian does.
There's a lot of men committing this violation who should be called. You do not put
That-
whipped cream on
He does.
coffee.
Brian gets this $8 coffee from Dunkin' Donuts and puts 4
I
pounds
do.
of whipped cream on.
Right.
Do.
That's why he needs his man card taken.
No. I just want to say something. Clear this up. Man violation is my thing. I do the man violations.
Well,
Scott, it's not your shtick. You don't have. You didn't say. You didn't say. Yeah, you don't challenge his vag, so that's my man violation of the week. You can get your own, start your own show. I just call it man violation.
He did. He
show.
started this one.
No, I'm saying he can go have another internet show. On this show, I call the shots when it comes to man violation.
That's like saying a man violation is any man who goes to Victoria's Secret and buys women's underwear and wears it. I mean, come on, Brian. I mean, that's obvious.
So they have.
And then you're going to say, oh, well, there's some men that do that. I'm
You know
sure
what?
there
That's,
are.
a
But I
better,
mean,
that's
Are
actually
obvious.
a better violation than the one he said because there are men who do that. But who's
Alright,
gonna find a
okay,
There's
man who
probably
did?
next
more than
week.
that.
That could be next week's man violation. There are men that fucking knit as a hobby. I saw a guy knitting on the train the other day. He was knitting on the fucking train.
That's what I was waiting for. An example.
Serious?
Oh, you didn't ask for an example.
I was waiting for
You're
something
just
finding this
arguing.
man.
yeah, okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. There was a guy.
Yeah,
knit-
he was on the
what-
train in front of me, in the seat in front of me. He was fucking knitting.
Was he knitting?
It was like a glove or something.
It was a cock sock.
What?
Cock sock.
What?
A cock sock.
Oh, cock sock. No, it was like a mitten. It was small.
Now, if you want us to suck it, you probably take a shower first.
Okay.
And, maybe we can take care of
But
that later.
I wanted to say, somebody had asked me this earlier to specify. I mean, if you're a guy and you have a hole in your jeans and you take like a little needle or whatever and you sew up the hole, that's all right. But there are guys that like do it as a fucking hobby. And if you want, maybe one day I'll do my senior thesis when I get my graduate degree, and I'll do it on men who knit, and I'll show it to you guys. I'll bring it in.
So around 2065, this is going to be happening.
Yeah, and I think when that happens, they will have figured out how to make real dinosaurs out of the DNA that was found in the resin. So it'll be like Jurassic Park,
They haven't
right?
found
We'll
one.
have
They
actual
haven't found that
dinosaurs.
yet.
Yeah, they'll be able to extract the
But they
DNA
haven't
from
found-
baby dinosaurs.
They haven't found a mosquito that has that yet.
Cricket.
It's almost impossible to find.
But no, I know, but that's when Brian's going to get his master's thesis or whatever it is.
Well, it's halfway there. This is the master part.
Cricket. Fuckface.
A dinosaur will walk the earth before Brian gets his master's degree. That was my point.
Yes. We would have been eaten by dinosaurs before.
Or Scott will tell a funny joke.
He told one earlier at the beginning of the show. That was a funny joke. See, he wants stick, but he doesn't appreciate
Okay.
good humor.
So there you have your week wild card picks.
It's wild card week.
Wild card week.
Yes, wild card week picks. The Big O, we're going with the Texans. You know, they're in a slump prior to the playoffs, so they're obviously gonna wake up here against the Bengals. I have no issue going with that as the Big O guarantee.
Yep, the Vikings line wrong.
Do you want to challenge me on that
We
again?
checked before the show went down to 8.5. It was 9.5 earlier today.
All right.
Way to go,
Oh,
Dan!
I
got
don't
a train
care.
to catch.
I'm throwing the red flag, damn it.
No, he challenged me last week and he
Hey,
lost.
I'll take it. If I lose, I lose.
He doesn't know that I actually am an expert at checking lines and finding data and so
When
forth.
I checked at 6 o'clock, I had gone down to 8.5.
That is true. He did. tell me
Okay,
that
can
when
you
I
see
seen
my
it.
screen?
Now it's down to 8.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Still 9.5.
It went back up to 9.5.
Wow.
It went down. It went back up.
I don't know that it did. I mean, last week you said the line moved and it was bull
Look at
crap. It
Dan.
never
Eating some crow. Dan is eating some crow. We all know what Dan's having for dinner tonight. He'd like
I
to
mean, I'm
medium rare?
refreshing the screen now. I mean, it's a little slow because
Your
we're doing
dinner.
the video at the same time.
and stuff. All right, whatever. 9.5. That's even better for us. That's 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you want it to move that way?
I
8.5, you're
We're trying
shooting
to be
yourself in the
accurate,
foot.
though.
But then if I click on the pinnacle line, it will give me the whole history of the line from the
They're
time it
still
opened.
struggling there.
So, but yeah, you're right. I see a ping where it did go
Yeah,
to
it did go 8.5. Well, that's 137.
Yeah, 137. What was that? What did it say, Brian? Like 137 this afternoon?
Yeah.
It went to 8.5. Wait. It went to 8.5 for like 10 minutes.
Maybe you need glasses?
Right,
Oh, you
right.
have glasses.
Yeah.
Wait, Dan already has
Literally, it
glasses.
was like 10 minutes, and then everyone must have jumped on it or something
Yeah.
on the favorite. It went back to
Went
9.
back to 9.5. Interesting.
Wait, so how?
But it looks like it wasn't updated again until later.
Oh,
wait a
because
minute.
you gave your sheet in the morning.
Let me see.
You gave me my sheet. Wait, but then you said you went back on
Yeah,
at
look
6
at
o'clock.
at 6:20. It was 9.5.
Yeah, because you told me it
Yeah,
changed.
it
though.
did.
Yeah, so
That's
what that
good for us,
tells you,
though.
Dan, is when it went to 8.5, that's the interesting stat there
Yeah.
because that shows you that when it went to 8.5, everyone jumped on Green Bay and then immediately went back to 9.5.
Yeah, so I think it bodes well for us. Makes it even easier for.
It does. Yeah, I mean, I would say that goes in your favor.
Say
right?
20-degree weather, it's gonna be hard to put up points.
Oh, it's gonna be cold. Hell. Hope no one has their face fall off like Tom Coughlin. Then I kept yelling at my TV. So yeah, there.
Yeah, I mean that you're right. I mean, when you see a move like that where everyone jumps on a line, I mean that's telling you right there
Yeah.
that your pick is solid.
Yeah.
Scott,
Definitely.
I gotta give you credit, even that you beat Dan twice now. 2-0.
Yeah. I know. I give him credit.
There you go.
See, he uses,
No, I mean, yeah, I checked all that shit
That's
before the
fair,
show.
baby.
unlike you, who just
That's
pull
an
stuff out of
O'Hare.
their ass.
So there you have your first playoff Big Pick 4 show in the books. The picks are in. I really think you should take all your money that you've won on the Big D guarantee this year
Hey,
and roll that over.
it
into
was
the
a good year for
playoff
Dan. I'm not gonna
win,
lie.
Yeah.
or into the playoff bets so you can win money for how many we got? These picks plus 2 more and then the Super Bowl, right?
No, there's 4 more games next week, and then there's the championship week, and then there's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was thinking for the week that we only have 2, we should do a bonus and do over under. We should do both the spread against the spread.
No, I ain't doing over-unders. No, but I'm saying, I said 2 more weeks, Dan. That's what I said.
Oh.
You got this week, you got 2 more weeks, and then the Super Bowl. All those picks.
Wait, time out. Let me. Hey,
Yeah.
I ain't doing over-unders. You have a
Then we only
separate show
have
for
two
that. I ain't
picks,
getting
though.
into that.
Who cares, Brian?
It's
It's
Big Pick
fine.
4.
I know.
Take the over, take the under, take the money line.
It's fine. Who cares? They'll both be our.
No, we pick against the spreads. Oh, take the pick'ems. Why don't we do pick'ems too?
It's 1 week, asshole. I'm not saying we change our whole. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Up with all kinds of new shows. Look, I gave you the show. Make 4 picks and win. Don't go 6 and 10.
Who cares? There's 2 games. Let's do 2 that.
The over/under is bullshit.
Yeah, we'll just do.
That's bullshit.
Do the guarantees that week. What's the difference?
Go play craps. Go play craps and roll.
All I'm saying is, if you do over under, then we got 4 separate.
We're not going to
picks.
do that. No, that's not the point of the show.
That's no fun over/under because you're not picking a winner and loser. There's no one else. Oh, I think both teams are going to score a bunch of points, but we still don't know
No,
who's going to win or
we're
lose.
going to do the spread and over under. We're still
No,
going
we're
to
just
pick
going to do
against
the
the
spread. There's no over under. Forget it. There'll only be 2 picks that week. The Super Bowl only do 1. Who cares?
Oh, I think we should also add on bowl picks. Let's do some. Let's pick the BCS
Funny
championship
guy.
game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Let's-
That's pretty funny. Haha.
You know, just for an added highlight, I think for the Super Bowl show we should do some NBA picks that
Yeah,
week too,
hey Scott, you're
and some college basketball
Again.
picks.
Yeah, you know, I think
again. Your
I
jokes
think
suck.
I think golf is getting in full swing. I think we make some golf picks too, and and we can talk about our baseball.
Why don't we also bet
or-
on when Scott's gonna fucking tell a good joke?
Also, we can
How
have
about
our
2021. Is that what's the over under there? 2021.
our baseball picks because baseball season will be starting 10 days after the Super Bowl. So we can talk about our baseball predictions if we want to. At that
Yeah, my
point.
brother Scott can bore you with his baseball algorithm.
Well, you know, I mean, it's like it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I mean, isn't there like Japanese soccer or something going on right now?
Yeah.
Whatever, I got outvoted. Fine.
Thank you.
Because they like to skate around really fast in circles too over there too. So there's probably some action we can take on that.
Yeah, right. I think there's a skateboarding competition this weekend somewhere.
All right, let's
the
get
X
to the
Games,
thing.
baby.
All right, fuck you. Let's get to the thing. Let's do the money thing. The stupid joke you tell about how you're gonna get all this money because you're cheesy.
I already did.
Your cheesy line about how you're gonna collect money.
I already did.
All right, ready?
As always.
Score with Big Pick 4.
Music.
All right, bro. I'll see you next week. I gotta take a piss. All right, man. I'll see you next week. All right.
All right, later, guys.
All right, see you next
Love you,
week.
bro.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
What?